The biggest lie about the ACT/SAT. You've been lied to about the ACT and SAT. And the worst part? The lie is coming from well-meaning people. Your parents, your teachers, maybe even your school counselor. Here's the lie that's holding students back. The ACT and SAT measure how smart you are. That if you score low, it means you're not college material. That some people are just built for it, and others aren't. That's completely false. And believing it is one of the biggest reasons students plateau. Here's what the ACT and SAT actually test. Pattern recognition. Strategy. They test how well you know the rules of the test, not what your English teacher taught you last semester, not your GPA. The ACT and SAT are skill-based exams. And skills, unlike raw intelligence, can be learned by anyone. Think about it this way. A student who scores a 34 on the ACT didn't just wake up smart one day. They learned exactly what the test is looking for, and they practiced that specifically over and over. So if it's not about intelligence, what is it about? 3 things. And once you understand these 3 things, your whole approach to studying changes. Number 1, test strategy. The ACT and SAT have patterns. The same question types show up again and again. Once you recognize them, you stop guessing and you start choosing. Learning this alone can raise your ACT score by 2 to 4 points. Number 2, time management. Most students don't run out of knowledge, they run out of time. The test is designed to rush you. If you're spending 3 minutes on one hard question, you're giving up easy points at the end of the section. The move? Skip it. Come back. Protect your easy points first. Number 3, targeted practice, not random studying. This is where most students go wrong. They study everything, but the ACT and SAT test a specific set of concepts. Take a practice test. Find your weak areas. Then drill those specific concepts, not the whole textbook. That's how you improve fast. Real quick, if this is shifting how you think about your ACT or SAT prep, go ahead and hit like. It helps more students find this channel. Now, let's wrap this up. You're not stuck with the score you have right now. The ACT and SAT are not a measure of your intelligence. They are a measure of your preparation. And preparation is something you control. The students who improve the most aren't the ones who study the hardest. They're the ones who study the smartest. They know what the test wants. They practice the right things. They manage their time. Think about it this way. A student who scores a 34 on the ACT didn't just wake up smart one day. They learned exactly what the test is looking for, and they practiced that specifically over and over. So if it's not about intelligence, what is it about? 3 things. And once you understand these 3 things, your whole approach to studying changes. The ACT and SAT are a measure of your preparation, and preparation is something you control. The students who improve the most aren't the ones who study the hardest. They're the ones who study the smartest. They know what the test wants. They practice the right things. They manage their time. Now that you know the lie, let's talk about how to actually fix it. Because knowing the truth isn't enough. You need a system. And I'm going to give you one step by step right now. This is the exact process students use to jump 3, 4, even 6 points on the ACT, or 200 plus points on the SAT. Not because they suddenly got smarter, because they got strategic. Step 1. Before you study a single concept, take a full practice test. A real one. Timed. Simulated test conditions. No phone. No breaks between sections. I know, that sounds painful, but here's why it matters. Most students start studying blindly. They review everything. They buy the big prep book and start on page 1. That is one of the biggest time wasters in test prep. A diagnostic test tells you exactly where your points are being lost. It shows you your weak areas, specifically math, reading, science, reasoning. You'll know after one test. You can find free official practice tests on the ACT and College Board websites. Download one this week. Take it this weekend. That's your starting point. Step 2. Build an error log. This is the single most underrated study tool in test prep, and almost nobody does it. Here's how it works. Every time you miss a question on a practice test, write it down. Not just that you got it wrong. Write down, what type of question was it? Why did you get it wrong? Did you not know the concept? Did you rush? Did you misread it? And what is the correct approach? When you review your error log before your real test, you are not reviewing random material. You are reviewing your specific mistakes. That is targeted preparation. That is how scores move. A simple notebook works. A Google Doc works. The format doesn't matter. The habit does. Step 3. Stop studying content. Start studying question types. Here's what I mean. On the ACT English section, there are only a handful of question types. Punctuation, subject-verb agreement, transitions, redundancy. They show up every single test. Every year, the wording changes. The passage changes. But the question types? Almost identical. Same on the math section. The ACT tests a specific list of math concepts. Quadratics, trigonometry basics, coordinate geometry. You don't need to know all of high school math. You need to know the ACT's math. So here's what you do. After your diagnostic test, look at your error log. Find your most common missed question types. Then go deep on those. Master the pattern. Practice 10 questions of that exact type. Then move to the next weak area. This approach will do more for your score in 2 weeks than 3 months of random studying. Step 4. Practice the way you're going to perform. Most students practice in comfortable conditions. Music on, phone nearby, taking breaks whenever they want. Then on test day, silent room, strict timer, no breaks, their performance drops. This is called a practice to performance gap, and it's fixable. When you do time practice sections, make it real. Set a timer. No music, no phone. Sit at a table, not on your bed. Your brain needs to associate focused, high-performance thinking with those conditions. Even if you only do one timed section per study session, do it right. 20 minutes of real practice beats an hour of distracted review every single time. Step 5. Stop counting study hours. Start tracking score movement. A lot of students say, I studied 4 hours this week, and they feel good about that. But 4 hours of unfocused, random studying barely moves the needle. Instead, after every full practice test, track your score. Section by section. English, math, reading, science. Write it down. Set a specific target. Not, I want to do better. Something like, I want to move my math score from a 22 to a 25 in the next 4 weeks. That's specific. That's measurable. That tells you exactly whether your preparation is working. If your score isn't moving after 2 weeks, change your approach. More practice tests, different resources, or, and this is important, get targeted help. A tutor, a prep course, or even AI tools can help you drill your weak spots fast. One last thing before we wrap up, and this might be the most important thing I say in this entire video. Progress on the ACT and SAT is not linear. You will have weeks where your score doesn't move. You will miss questions you thought you understood. That is normal. That is part of the process. The students who break through are not the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who keep showing up with a system, even when it's frustrating. You're not behind. You're not too late. You are exactly where you need to be because now you know the truth. And now you have the plan. If this video helped you, subscribe and drop a comment below. What's your target ACT or SAT score? Let me know, and I'll make sure we cover exactly what you need to get there.